I brought you in so we could both jointly bitch. We could, sort of
Co-bitch.
co-bitch, exactly. NATO is my co-bitcher. And specifically to talk about this clip that came out earlier today or last night, I think it's evening, I guess, Joe Biden. And he is basically saying, once again, reaffirming Israel's rights to defend itself, or murder 18,000 and counting civilians, which I think like 1% have maybe kind of somehow been at one point in their lives a Hamas fighter. So like, pretty good odds there. We've gone into those stats, even by the IDF's own admission. Terrible.
A lot of those children could be Hamas fighters in the future if they hadn't been deaded.
Exactly. So here he is once again, not changing his tune in the slightest. Again, this is the week after the U.S. vetoed the UN resolution calling for a ceasefire, and this is what he says about the importance of Israel and keeping Jews safe.
As I said after the attack, my commitment to the safety of the Jewish people and the security of Israel and its right to exist is independent. As an independent Jewish state is unshakable. Folks, were there no Israel, there wouldn't be a Jew in the world that was safe. Were there no Israel.
Woo! Yes. Go off, King. Now, I really like, here's the thing about this clip, NATO, is I think nothing encapsulates what is wrong with Joe Biden and what is wrong with running him as the Democratic Party's nominee for president, is the fact that he is unable to say unshakable or unwavering. Like, he literally cannot say it, cannot get the word out. And
without wavering and shaking.
And then also says, without Israel, not a Jew in the world would be safe. This is a place where you could make the argument that more Jews have been killed. In fact, Zionists have made that argument that more Jews have been killed there since the Holocaust. Not necessarily the safest place, but then again, NATO, I'm not a Jew. I assume only in the last few months you've been thinking, God, how do I get to safety? Must move to Israel.
I mean, Biden is horribly off message with the Jewish community, because the official line of the Jewish establishment right now is that Jews are horribly unsafe everywhere in the world, including Israel, but also everywhere else. So we have the existence of a Jewish state now, and we keep telling everyone that we're not safe. So I don't. And here's the thing: is Jews survived in the diaspora for 2,000 years, and it, like, I just think if your primary concern is the safety of the Jewish people, a Jewish state is a bad idea, because they're putting us all in one place. It makes us easy targets. Our survival depends on spreading us around.
Well, that's literally what Christian Zionists want. They're like, you get them all together, and then Jesus comes back to kill them.
And then it's fish in a barrel. You can just nuke them all at once. Jew problem solved. Spread us out like Horcruxes. We're like Voldemort in this analogy. Spread us out like Visa, where Jews are everywhere you want to be.
I mean, that's honestly been my life. Like, that's the story of my life. I'm not Jewish, but pretty much they're everywhere I want to be.
Right. And I mean, I have nothing to do with Israel, but I'm still like the kind of Jew who, like, when I'm on vacation, no matter where I'm going, like I literally have been to Mexico City. Opened the phone book, looked for the Cohen page, and then walked to that neighborhood and just walked around knocking on people's doors being like, do you have challah? Until someone offered me challah. Like, I have done that. It's Polanco, by the way, is where the Jews are in Mexico City.
Oh my God.
And there is a Cohen page, and they're all in Polanco. So
that's the most NATO green and psycho thing I've ever heard. Everywhere I go, I look up where the Jews are and I knock on their door.
Or there's a plaque, that I can stand next to of, like, this is where we killed the Jews.
Right. That happens, yes.
Like, I go visit the plaque and I take a picture near the plaque of where they killed the Jews.
Back to Joe Biden. This is a guy who said that the reason that he ran for president is the Unite the Right rally, a clearly anti-Semitic white nationalist rally that killed a woman. and that he felt like Nazism was coming back to the United States, ergo he's got to run for president. And he says that Israel's the only safe place. Not a Jew in the world would be safe without Israel. I mean, it's so wild to me, and I don't like it. Incenses me. I'm not Jewish, but I can imagine the idea that, like, yeah, no, you're not safe here only by, by the hand of 14 billion more dollars committed to Israeli weapons to, again, ethnically cleanse the people of Gaza. Are you going to be safe in San Francisco?
I mean, and the other, the other thing, I'm getting dangerously close to saying that Jews are tricky, and you need to keep an eye on us. But so I might anti-Semitic trope myself. But once again, the other thing that keeps coming up is like the Zionist argument turns concrete questions into abstract ones.
Right.
So like does Israel have a right to exist? Should there be a Jewish homeland? Is an abstract question. Sure, I would like there to be theoretically, potentially, a Jewish homeland where Jews can be safe and whatever, if that's what Jews want. But that's not the question in front of us. The question in front of us is, at what cost should there be a Jewish homeland? And if the cost of a Jewish homeland is 6,000 dead children, like right now, is that cost too high?
Right.
Like, it's a concrete question that has actual trade-offs for people, and you can't like hide behind it with these sort of Socratic political theories.
Yeah.
That are
but
disconnected from the real world.
absolutely. But they do. And what's crazy is that then you also, beyond the 6,000, children dead, you have 1,200 or nearly 1,200 military and civilians, Israeli civilians dead. And Israel's sort of run on this idea that, well, okay, as long as our body count or is far less than their body count or vice versa, right? As long as we kill far more, then it's all hunky-dory and it's all good. And we'll all just forget, they're currently Israelis in the streets protesting Netanyahu for the, not trying to prioritize the release of hostages, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, we'll talk about how terrible the other option in terms of Trump is, but like the fact that Biden has not changed his tune, not just in 2 months, in his entire career. My dude is heralding himself from like the late 70s. I said it then, and isn't it wonderful now? No, it's terrible. It's worse. You should evolve on these issues, just like the Israeli government has completely made a hard right turn. As if that, truly, as if, any other turn would mitigate the actual occupation. But like, still, it's just, there's a perfect example of why people are souring on him, on his candidacy, and why we need to get J.B. Pritzker or who else? Oh, Sean Fain. We're just recruiting Sean Fain. I've decided we're recruiting Sean Fain for president. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.